wild and beautiful friends. Thanks so much for coming by. Today we are transforming these turnips and these portobello mushrooms into a vegan, low-carb, gourmet steak frite. Keep on watching to see how we make them. Alrighty guys, to get started, I've got this large casserole dish that I am going to marinate our mushrooms in. So for a marinade, we're kind of eyeballing everything. I've got about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, as well as 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar. To that, I'm going to add just a smidge of liquid smoke. This stuff goes a really long way. I have hickory in my cupboard, so that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use about 4 drops of that, and will be perfect. And then we're just going to add some seasoning. I'm going to add some nutritional yeast, about a half a teaspoon, as well as some seasoning salt. If you have a steak seasoning, that'll work really great as well. I just didn't have any, so seasoning salt it is. Then I'm going to add some freshly ground black pepper. We are also going to add some garlic salt, some onion powder, and some roasted red pepper flakes, about a half teaspoon of each. I will, of course, type down below everything that I use in the amounts. Then I'm just going to quickly stir all of our ingredients together with a fork to get it all mixed together, and we're going to add our mushrooms. So I know I've said this before, but it is just the best way to shop for produce, if you ask me. If you go to your grocery store early, you may be able to find these reduced vegetables that are just getting close to on the verge. These portobellos look amazing, but they're only $1.49. So I got a couple 3-packs. We're going to use 3 of them for our little portobello steaks today, and I'm just going to put them in cap side down, and we're going to go through and we're going to spoon that marinade into the gill side of our portobellos and let it soak in for at least a half an hour. Let it get nice and marinated. You can put this back in the fridge, or you can just leave it on the counter, whatever is easiest for you. And that way we will get some flavor on both sides of our mushrooms. Okay, and while our mushrooms are marinating away, we've got our turnip here. I've cut off the stem end, and I'm just going to slice it like so and make French fry shapes out of them. So I'm just going to cut them in rounds like this, and then we'll slice them into little matchstick French fry shapes, and we will be ready to roast them off in the oven. And here we have our turnip French fries. I'm just going to drizzle with about a tablespoon or so of olive oil, and we'll add some salt, and I'm just going to toss them around, and we're going to throw them into a 425-degree Fahrenheit oven. So not only are these a little bit less carbs than potatoes, but since we're baking them, it's going to be a lot less fat than frying them as well. So healthy option and low carb option as well with this root vegetable. It's such a good alternative. Ooh, and real quick before we pop in our turnip fries into the oven, I've got a whole head of garlic here. I'm going to cut off the top, and we're going to put it in this little section of our cookie sheet that is available, and drizzle it with some olive oil and sea salt, and throw that in the oven as well. And we're going to make a garlic aioli with that to dip our French fries in. It's going to take it to the next level. So we're going to throw that in the oven, and now I'm going to make a little topping for our French fries and our mushroom steaks. We've got about 3 medium cloves of garlic that I've just roughly chopped, and a whole head of parsley. We're making kind of like a gremolata situation here. A typical gremolata is parsley, garlic, and lemon juice, but instead of lemon juice, we're going to use some truffle oil. So we're going to just pack a lot of punch and a lot of flavor and yummy textures into our turnip fries. So I've got our bunch of parsley here, and I'm just going to go through and chop it with the garlic and kind of just mince everything together, get those flavors going. It smells so fresh in the kitchen right now. I love the smell of chopped parsley. Mix that with some fresh garlic, and I am a happy, happy girl. So this just takes a few minutes, a little bit of patience. Kind of just keep going through until you get this lovely mince on there. I'm trying to kind of concentrate on those garlic cloves to make sure everything's minced up and really nice. Now these flavors on their own are amazing, but like I said, we're making a gourmet dinner, so we're going to take this to the next level. I am going to pour in 2 tablespoons of truffle oil. If you have not had truffle oil before, Oh my goodness, it is a culinary game changer. The stuff on popcorn is insane. It's delicious on mushrooms and root vegetables, which is why we're going to use it today. And it works amazingly with this parsley and garlic combination. So I'm just stirring that together, and we'll have our little gremolata to toss our fries in. I'm also going to grate a little bit of vegan Parmesan for our turnip fries. And we're going to set this aside and check on our mushrooms. We are looking good. All of that marinade's soaked in really nicely. I've got a hot pan with about a tablespoon of olive oil on here, and I'm going to add our mushrooms caps down to our hot pan here. We're on about medium to medium high heat. Once I get the mushrooms on, I'll turn it back down to medium. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually press our mushrooms to kind of make sure we get a nice sear on the bottom and get that marinade soaking in throughout all of the mushroom. So I'm just going to take, first of all, we don't want to waste any more of any of that marinade. So I'm going to dump the rest into those caps. And then I'm just going to take our casserole dish and lay it on top. As you can see, it's touching each mushroom, pressing it down a little bit, a little guy. We're going to let these go for about 10 minutes and then give them a check. Here's what our turnips are looking like. These do take a little bit longer to cook. The turnips probably took about 40 minutes in my oven. You just want to make sure you have a nice brown on the top and the bottom. While those are finishing up and our mushrooms are browning, getting our condiments ready, I've of course got some ketchup because I am definitely a ketchup kind of girl. And with that roasted garlic from our turnip fries, we're going to squeeze that into our little dish here and make the easiest garlic aioli. I had a really hard time spitting that out. So you're going to take all of the cloves of garlic from our head of garlic. Here's a little hot, so it's tricky. And I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise to start with. And we're just going to mix it around and make sure all those little soft and chewy, crunchy bits of garlic get mixed in really well. And then we're just going to add a bit of salt and pepper to taste and a little bit more mayonnaise, so probably about 2 tablespoons more. That garlic does go a long way, as much as I love myself some roasted garlic. And it's wonderful to dip the French fries in. It's also a amazing condiment to keep in your fridge that it'll keep for about a week or so. You can use it on sandwiches, and it is divine. Adds a whole new punch to your vegan mayonnaise game. So we're just going to set these aside and start assembling our dinner. Okie dokie, guys. Back to the mushrooms. We're going to check these out. Our juices are kind of releasing. I hope this is making sense. I'm going kind of back and forth, but I wanted you to see chronologically how I made everything. So those juices are releasing. There's a nice sear. They're getting nice and soft. We're just going to flip them and let them go for about 5 more minutes. And we'll be ready to assemble our gourmet steak frite dinner. Look at those beauties. Those are our turnip fries. They're nice and browned and glistening. I'm just going to add on our parsley, truffle oil, garlic mixture here. I'm going to be generous, of course, and toss them around. Then I'm going to also add our vegan Parmesan and toss that around. It's going to be so delicious. Oh my goodness, it smells so good in here. I cannot wait to try them. Okay, guys, it's time to eat. We've got our truffled French fries, turnip style here, and our tender and seared portobello mushrooms as well. Look at those little guys. So juicy. I'm also going to add a bit of that parsley mixture to our mushrooms as well. It's going to go so nicely. And some vegan Parmesan, because why not? We have got our ketchup. We've got our garlic aioli. We are ready to have a fabulous dinner. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you give this recipe a shot. Let me know what you think. These fries are amazing. They're not quite as crispy as a real French fry, but I'm pretty sure that you'll find them to be a really amazing substitute. The flavors are epic. I hope you're staying safe and healthy, and I can't wait to talk to you soon. Cheers.